this hour, at least 2 people have been confirmed dead after a 5-story building collapsed in Huruma, Nairobi last night. 3 others are being treated in hospital. Rescue efforts are underway. Our reporter Caroline B has still been at the scene since morning, and she joins us with details. Caroline, it's good to see you again. What further details do you have for us? How far has the rescue operation taken place?
Well, right now, Zinzi, the bulldozer is doing its work. It started like around 10 minutes ago. First of all, it had stopped the operations due to the power lines here. They had to first wait for KPLC to switch off the power lines here before they could proceed with anything. And actually, this building is located inside a primary school. And just next to it is also a secondary school, which goes by the name of Genesis Immaculate Secondary School, the primary school as well. And when the incident happened at around 1 a.m. Saturday night, there were students in the secondary school. That is a boarding school, like girls only. So actually, according to the residents, the girls were actually screaming. But once the rescue operations started, they were evacuated to a much safer place. And around 30 minutes ago, around 5 girls were said to be from the Genesis Immaculate Secondary School got inside the building, removed their belongings or what they could actually salvage from that. And right now, looking at the scene on how it looks like is that they've been able to break the wall to the primary school so that they can be able to access the 4-story building. And a few minutes ago, one lady was able to be rescued from this rubble. She was strong enough. She walked all the way and was taken by the rescue teams. That is the St. John's ambulance and also the Red Cross, who are here on site to ensure the safety. And Red Cross were the first team to arrive here last night, followed by other rescue teams, which came in early this morning, where the rescue operations are still underway. Well, these people are still trying to see on how they can actually access the building so far. And also another quite an interesting incident is that one person was actually caught in just next to where the building has fallen, just trying to get away with belongings or actually the remains from that building. And he is said to be a thief, was arrested by police who are here on site just to ensure the safety of the site in itself. A lot of residents are gathered in different buildings. And from what I can see is that majority of the buildings in this area are actually substandard, which might have actually forced the building to fall. And according to some of the witnesses who actually helped in the rescue operations, once they had the noise that happened at around that time, is that this building was not actually good enough or fit enough for human occupation. And therefore, some of the residents had been told, actually the residents had been told that they had to they had to leave this place before a disaster could happen. So that means they had actually sensed that anything could happen. And some of them had already started leaving this place and just for their safety. But some of them remained in this area. That is when the disaster happened. And according to the witnesses who joined the scene at that time, is that when this happened, they were able to rescue close to around 2 people. Then there was also the lady who was rescued from this site was said to be pregnant, but unfortunately she succumbed to the injuries together with the husband, who was being rushed to hospital but was pronounced dead before arrival. So far, 2 people, actually 3 people, are in hospital receiving treatment over the matter. Well, Zinzi, that is the update that we have for you. From what we can see is that there's a KPLC officer, I should believe, who is trying to disconnect the power from this place so that it can be safe for the rescue operations to go underway. They have been able to break through a building of a primary school, or actually the wall of a primary school. We had the director of the school who was here, who actually gave the go-ahead for that to happen. But the rescue operations, or actually the bulldozer, started its work close to 10 minutes ago. They had to be in a standstill so that they could ensure the power goes off before they could get a go-ahead to deconstruct this building. And this 5-story building is located within a school, a primary and a secondary school. So you can actually imagine how the situation would have been had it been on a weekday, let's say Monday to Friday. So the situation, I can say, they were actually lucky enough that it happened on a weekend. But then again, we cannot say that the situation is good, because so far 2 people are dead. rescue operations are underway. We're not sure how many could still be covered by the debris as the debris in itself. But the rescue operations, as you can see, is underway. A lot of response or disaster management response team are on the scene. We have the Kenya Red Cross, we have the St. John Ambulance, NYS officers. There's also the National Disaster Management Authority who are here on site to give us updates and also to ensure safety of the people around this place, isn't it?
Caroline, thank God that this building collapsed over the weekend when school-going children were not in the classrooms. Has the principal who has given the go-ahead for the wall of the primary school to be brought down said anything? Because tomorrow is Monday, and Monday we're back to school. Students will be back to schools. What will happen then?
Well, Zinzi, hopefully we shall get him for a comment, but he was actually trying to consult with the officers on the ground so as to enable the rescue operations in itself. But right now we are still trying to lock him down because he is actually busy with the go-aheads and also the permission in itself. So once we get him, we are going to give an update. But as of now, we have actually spotted him, courtesy of the residents here who told us that is the director of the two schools here, where when this incident happened, there were girls who were still inside the dormitories. So when that happened, they were just evacuated to a nearby school. The primary school also has an extension on the other side of the road. So the ladies or the girls were actually told to move to the primary school in itself or go to other places, especially some of the houses which are nearby, to be housed there and to ensure their safety. But as you can see now is that bulldozer is trying to clear off the debris. A lot of properties have actually been destroyed. We are not sure how much it is worth, but from what you can see or as what is happening from the screen is that we can see some beddings, we can see mattresses, blankets, clothes. And this incident actually, the residents tell us that people had been told to move out of that house before anything could happen. Unfortunately, it actually happened when some of them were still inside here. And looking at this place, as I have told you, there are a lot of substandard buildings, which actually calls for action from various organizations and those who are responsible for this. When we actually saw the building that happened in Ruai a few months ago, it actually sent a knee-jerk reaction from the Ministry of Housing. But that did not happen. They actually did a few demolitions, which started from Zimmerman. They were also to do the same in Huruma, in Madare and other places, but reaching some point, it all stopped. So I don't know whether this is actually going to be a call for action for them again to resume that, just because we have seen another building which has collapsed today. And around 2 years ago, I can say the biggest incident, quite unfortunate, that happened here in Madare. We saw the death of close to around 20 people, and no action was taken. We had a court case over the same. But the court actually threw that out due to some of the reasons which were reported then. The owners of the house, we are not sure where the owner of this 5-story building is. But what we can tell you is that we are not sure whether he's going to be brought to book. There have always been issues of corruption where those who own these buildings engage in corrupt activities, and therefore no action is taken against them. Zinzi?
Thank you so much.